Okay, hi everyone. So this is a video to introduce how to connect a circuit. So here I have a electric cell, and I'm going to just put it in this housing here. The electric cell will always have a positive and negative, so it's important to take note of where the positive and negative is. Okay, so I'm going to put it together like this. So now I'm going to connect it to a wire. The wires you are given are inside, it's been insulated. So the things that are the metal parts are where it conducts the electricity. So at the ends you can just see it's a crocodile clip. It's for you to clip on to all the different components. So there are a few ways you can connect the battery, the wires to the battery. You can try it at this point here. Okay, the only problem is that this is not very tight. Sometimes it can come off by itself. So it would be better if you can just put it here at the side where there's more contact point. Personally for me, I found a better way to even make it more tighter with better contact is I can just gently push this out and clip it. So it is has more contact with the metal, so something more secure. Okay, so just take note that when you want to connect two batteries, it comes in here. You realize that it must flow through down before going out. So if you were to connect the battery at this point instead, you realize that it only goes through one battery instead of two. So if you want to use two batteries, you want to connect it here. Okay, just leave this here. The next thing to show you is the bulb. So this is a very simple setup. This is our bulb. Basically, you just need to make sure it's part of the loop. So I'm going to put this wire here, connect it here. This is how you, this is actually pretty secure. So you're going to put the other wire at this point, and it should light up. Right, so this forms our very basic closed circuit. So whenever you have an issue, always start with this first. Identify if the battery is working, identify if the bulb is working, then slowly add on what you have. So I'm going to open this now. The next thing I'm going to introduce is your switch. So this is the switch. This is a key for the switch. This is helps you to decide whether it's open or closed circuit. Right? So we're going to connect it now. So the two sides here can be unscrewed, so you reveal some space below for you to clip on. So this is one. I need another wire. I'm going to put it here. And okay, so it will be a good practice always to remove the key first, so that it is an open. If the switch is open, it's an open circuit, and only after you have done everything, then you close the switch. So I've now connected it in the circuit, and I'm going to close the switch, and the bulb lights up. So you see, I've formed a closed circuit, as mentioned. Okay. Now the next thing to introduce. Sometimes, if they don't, you may not be using a bulb, you'll be using a fixed resistor. So this is how you will connect a fixed resistor. The 1 ohm fixed resistor looks like this, or sometimes you may have a fixed resistor that looks like this. These are all fixed resistors of different values, but they function the same way. So I'm going to just use this for this demonstration. All you need to do is just to clip at the metal parts, because metal parts are the parts that conduct electricity. So you can find your best way to clip it so that it's a bit more secure. And then if you were to close the switch, current is flowing through. You can't tell because there's nothing, it doesn't give off any light. Okay, we'll show you later if it works or not by using the ammeter to measure. So this is where I introduce the ammeter. So this is the ammeter. It has two knobs here like the screw. When you unscrew it, you can actually see the metal below. Here you have a negative sign and positive sign. You want to place it very intentionally, carefully. So here, the negative sign should go to the nearest negative part of the battery. So this wire should be connected to negative, not the positive side. So I have one here. Find another wire. My positive side goes to this part, where my switch is. So if I find my key, to close it here, you can see here, even though I can't tell whether it is working because the resistor doesn't give off any light, I can see that there's a reading in my meter showing me there's current flowing in the circuit, which is a great thing, right? That means it's working. The last thing I want to show you is the voltmeter. The voltmeter measures the potential difference, or the EMF. Here you have also a negative and a positive sign. And yes, it reads from 0 to 3 voltage. So one trick for this is when connecting a voltmeter is that to never never try to put it in the circuit first. So what you will do is you should find 2 wires, fix one at the positive, one at negative 2 first. So it kind of looks like a crab now with 2 pincers. What I want to do this is so that because the voltmeter is connected in parallel, so I want to add on to the circuit. I do not want to just figure away and it becomes part of a loop, and then it will not work. Okay, so it has to be a separate loop. Okay, so I'm going to connect this to across the 1 ohm resistor so that I can measure the potential difference. And to do this, I need to check. Okay, because this is my positive, I want it to connect to the positive side of the voltmeter. So I'm going to use this wire. Okay, it's a bit tangled. I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put this here. Okay, so you can see that my voltmeter, I'm going to just shift it here this side. It is a separate loop compared to my previous one. Okay, and so if I were to close the switch, you can see here that my ammeter reading, there is some reading, as well as my voltmeter, there's some reading. Okay, so this is the end of the video. I hope you can be able to figure out how to fix a basic circuit for yourself.